Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Kind of a weird day today. Really not eventful. SPY's kind of curling up here. We did cross below our little bull bear area. I think it was around 358 and change on the 50% Fibonacci, if I am not mistaken. I'll have to switch screens. I'm looking at YY here. So I shorted YY out of the get-go, and then added this short when it broke this little pivot here. But now it's been really choppy. And you can see that once this little pivot broke here, this is the one where the Muddy Waters came out with a negative report. It dropped big time. They popped it today, up almost 20% at one point, just refuting the report. Obviously, they're not going to concede any of the allegations by Muddy Waters, but it's interesting because if I read this correctly, I think Baidu or another internet giant made an offer, an all-cash offer for like 3 point something billion dollars, which is very odd, and I'm not sure all the details or how they structured the deal. But if you look at the current valuation, I think with the outstanding shares, the valuation's around 6 billion plus. So this looks like short covering. Every time you see this little area holding, look at this. It's held look at this. We got a flat line across here. I mean, 5 or 6 times it's held this area. I can't imagine that eventually doesn't break through there to the downside. But it's been very whippy and very sharp. I'm down to 100 shares short from 500 originally. So let's see how it goes. It looks like it's getting back down there again, but every time it gets near this little area, they're buying it up. Interesting. YSG. I only bought a little bit because I couldn't figure out what direction this wanted to go. But I bought a little bit when it started to just continually hold this little area here, and then we popped out of this little wedge. And sometimes I draw my wedge from the big breakdown like that, and that's where it popped it, and the volume started picking up. So it's kind of interesting. It's a internet gaming company, and I like how they held it here. And I also like that when I see a high, it's not a huge volume high. Like this wasn't a huge volume high. So it looks like it can keep curling higher. And we'll go from there on that one. And then there's also Ayro. You guys know we've been talking about this one forever. Hopefully you guys got into this. Up 41% today on our little electric speculative Ayro. I'm down to 600 shares. I'm looking to sell 300 at the top channel here, which is kind of moving as we speak. But I originally configured that around, I think it's 616. Yeah, 616 is my sell order. So that one is banging big time. And what else do we have to look? Let's look at SPY really quick. I wanted to look at that on our little Fibonacci retracement. Oops, let's put SPY in there and see what that looks like. So actually, no, the 50% retracement area is 358.80. So bear's in charge now. Even though we're curling up, we just got oversold from the big sell-off. Nice to see us above. You can see the volume pick up once we break above that 38.26 retracement from the recent sell-off from the high. So now we're probably gravitating back towards that 358.86. I might take a stab short if we get back up close to that again. But these are little things that I look at intraday, little wedge pattern breaks. You can kind of see here. A little pop there, hit. We broke through, and then we just keep back testing this channel line, holding this line, then back up again. So you could even draw like a more subtle line like this, I guess. Something like that. It could be down a little bit lower, and then you can see we pop this one again. So we'll see how that goes. That's not looking too bad. And then another one that just kind of busted today was Wimi. The only thing I don't like about it is this massive volume top here. A lot of shares traded around the 656 area. So be really positive to see it close above that 656 area. But on the daily, it looks nice. We have a little bit of a curl here on the daily on Wimi. Kind of interesting company too. And now we're starting to get back above. Let me pull this back down again. Back above the 20 and the 50 day. With some decent volume today. So I like that. I like how this had some prior price history too. And this is one of those speculative runners that got up as high as almost 30. And then it kind of flatlines and curls. get a little pop and then a little flatline again, and then you're getting another pop. So I kind of like that chart on Wimi there. Obviously, you can kind of just see a definitive base channel here. Somewhere like this, I guess you'd say. So not a bad look on Wimi, W-I-M-I. And then I think that's about it for today. Yeah, there's one more. Actually, there's Ngms is interesting too. Neo Games. Did I look at? Did we talk about Neo Games? We talked about. I might have got my symbols mixed up. But Neo Games looks interesting too. This pattern that's forming here. I got like 300 shares of that close to the low. So interesting pattern there on NGMS. And what I do like to see is you can kind of see if you kind of zoom in here. This is what the big traders that are wanting positions in these look for. So right here you see this flat line, right? You see it touches, pops up, touches, pops up, touches, pops up. So everybody's buying here and they put a stop just below there. Well, look at the volume here once that stop breaks. That's a big flush. It's the highest volume of the entire day other than the opening volume getting sorted out with all the pre-ordered bids in. So look at that huge volume spike there, about 100,000 shares on that dump. So now they know that the weak hands are out. So what do? That's probably the definitive bottom for the day. They start to use that now as a stop area. This little pop, pull back, and then this is your real stop. That's where I put mine at, just below there. And now we're kind of curling back up again. Well, I probably could have sold that move there. We'll see how it goes though. Interesting move there too. They're just little hints there. You know, if you're watching something, just wait for that big flush if you're looking to make an entry, because that's what the big traders are looking to do there as well. So AYRO now is approaching my target price. Looking nice, looking nice. I think it was this channel line that I was looking at. So actually we could be higher. We could actually get into the $6.30 range there, but we'll see how that one goes.